Yeah. But where? But where?
Okay.
Anywhere else. Enough so you can see them. Far enough so you don't cheer up.
Direct. This is Associate Justice.
I'm telling them because I am cheering is not allowed.
I'm prepared.
I didn't see the umbrella, so I guess it's okay.
You don't know that. It's in it.
It's the flood, so I may have to refrain to tell myself that, okay, I'm telling everybody no umbrella, but you don't bring an umbrella.
We have our ways. No umbrella,
No. Growing up, we used to have the same suit from Versailles boxing. And I saw the extreme ways of cheering where they go down the field and they ruin everybody and like, yeah. Somebody else was at the airport and I was saying, and he grasped that ladder. You know, been there. See,
I think so. Bill and Head.
There. Why not one else? See if that's it. One. There, there, there. This is it. She's asking for Wi-Fi. Telecom is there. Telecom. Wi-Fi. Yeah. I think I already gave it. Oh, you already gave it? Yeah. Okay. Come yesterday, so I gave yesterday. Yeah, no. We're talking about ours. And different.
Cousin Elia, Michael, Mason Mom. We were scheduled to start at 9, but we are still expecting some guests to arrive, so please give us just a few more minutes. Thank you.
Correct. Wait, proclamation. Correct proclamation.
이쪽으로 하다 저쪽으로 쓰기야.
Good morning. We will be starting our program. At first, my apologies for the delay again. This event is a national event and it will be broadcast live throughout the FSM. We were having or experiencing some technical difficulties with the system. That's why we started a little late. Kaserele, Meisangma, good morning to you all. I wish to begin by paying my respects to our Heavenly Father. I also would like to extend my humble respect to all traditional leaders throughout the FSM, leaders of the government, church leaders, debaters, parents, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in acknowledging the presence of some of our government leaders who are with us this morning. Vice President of the Federated States of Micronesia, the Honorable Yusuf George, Chief Justice of the FSM Supreme Court, the Honorable Dennis K. Yamase, Associate Justice Julian R. Worsfoot of the FSM Supreme Court, other leaders of the national government who are present with us this morning, the Lieutenant Governor of the State of Bombay, the Honorable Reed Oliver, Justices of the Bombay State Court, and other state leaders who are present with us this morning, Chief Justices and Justices of the local courts who are also with us this morning. Since this event is being broadcast live throughout the nation, I also would like to extend my respect to all the citizens who are watching through the live stream and also those who are listening to the program through the internet and all the radio stations in the FSM. Wherever you are, we thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning. This is the National Law Day opening ceremony, and after this ceremony, we will begin the main event, which is the debates, which are the debates. Today, July 12, 2019, marks the 30th anniversary of the FSM Supreme Court. And once again, to commemorate this anniversary, the national government, the Supreme Court, is hosting another National Law Day debate whereby our young, bright students and future leaders of this nation are engaged in debates and discussions of issues significant to this nation as a developing nation. This is a tradition that the court has been carrying on for so many years.
Center, please. Color guard, hold. Ready, front. One step backward, long. Freeze it, up.
join the chorus, union of life across all my Croatia. Join hands on every side across all my Croatia. Join hands on every side. We all work together, heart, voice, and hand, till we have made these islands another promised land. Till we have made these islands another promised land. Till we have made these islands another
Order, on. Center, please. Forward, march. Left, 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 right, left. Right, over. March time, one. Defense, home. Fire.
Thank you very much to the Marson Carls Group, or the Channel Girls, and the National Police. At this time, please remain standing. I would like to invite Father Dave Andrews, Figueroa, Okumbe, and Koshai to lead us in the invocation. Father.
Lord our God, Father of all, source of all wisdom and justice, we praise and thank you for this year's National Law Day debate and your purpose for it. We know that when we gather together in your sight, you always have a divine agenda, and we love you for that, Father. That even when we have done our best to serve you and our nation, the results are so much greater than we ever could have imagined. And even when our attempts to improve the welfare of all seem to fail, you surprise us with your awesome goodness and faithfulness in providing us with what we need. Our prayer today is that your will be done through this annual Law Day event. May your justice prevail throughout the FSM. Take what has been prepared by all the participants and multiply and bless their efforts as only you can. Guide our intentions to be in line with your gracious will. May this debate today bring you greater honor and glory as we strive to discover what is best for our nation's growth and development. And so, Father, blanket us all with your peace today. Keep us always in your love. And let your love for all be the guiding light for everything we set out to accomplish and celebrate. We ask this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, we will be hearing a welcoming remark, which will be delivered by the Honorable Julian Carl Morswick, Associate Justice of the Epsom Supreme Court. Justice.
Thank you, Evan. First, I thank our Heavenly Father for this beautiful day and for the occasion that we are celebrating the Epsom Law Day. I would like to join and recognize our dignitaries, His Excellency David W. Manuelo, President of the Epsom, Vice President Desmond George is here with us, Honorable Wesley Siminas, Speaker of Congress, the Epsom Supreme Court Chief Justice, Dennis J. Yamase, Honorable Judge from Bombay State Court, Emilio Nande, our judges from the Municipal Court with us from Lech and Sopes, the Governor and Lieutenant Governor of Bombay State. I understand that Lieutenant Governor is with us, but he's not, he's somewhere in the crowd. Our traditional leaders of Bombay and this nation, our clergymen, Father Dave Andres, and Pastor Rickson Ilan, other worthy dignitaries that are present here with us, or their representatives from the Department of Justice, right here, and those that I want to recognize but is not, because they're not visible to me, I apologize for this omission. Maria Dodre, Vice President of the Honorable Council, the citizens and people of the Epsom here and listening live through the internet or the radio, the legal community, judges for our panel, judges for our debate today, keynote speaker, and let, parents, donors, coaches, friends, and most especially our debaters for this year, 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Chief Justice of the Epsom Supreme Court, the Associate Justices, and the staff of the Epsom Supreme Court, I welcome you to this year's National Law Debate. Today, July 12, 2019, marks 38 years since July 12, 1981, when the Supreme Court of the Epsom was inaugurated as the highest court of this nation. So to celebrate and commemorate this milestone in our young nation, the Epsom Supreme Court sponsors a national law debate each year, where high school students throughout the nation are called upon to engage in public debate over national issues of legal, political, and economic significance. These annual debates allows our young innovative students to voice their opinions on issues that are significant to our nation, issues that often have been or are being contemplated by leaders of this nation. The debate opens a door to our young students to a world of immense benefit, because by participating in these debates, our young students would have actually experienced the true nature and role of a leader when handling matters of national significance. I therefore want to congratulate our students for making one of the best decisions in their early lives as future leaders of this nation. Before I go on, I would like to recognize Mrs. Desmond George for coming in. Thank you. Our topic today reads, be it resolved that the Epsom shall adopt temporary special measures to to ensure each of the states has at least one female representative in Congress. The issue of women representative in Congress is not new. It has been around. A similar topic was debated upon by high school students in the 2013 national debate. Congressional bills have been proposed relating to women representation in the FSM Congress as early as in 2008 and as recent as in 2018, totaling about 9 congressional bills between the span of 10 years. Truly, as we can see, this is a lingering issue and a topic of interest and importance to our people and nation. I am therefore confident that our young debaters are prepared and will bring into focus the question of whether or not temporary special measures should be adopted by our nation to ensure women representatives in Congress. Once again, I extend our warm welcome to each and every one, to our young debaters and children debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I'd like to also join Justice Forsberg and recognize the presence of Mrs. George. Thank you. Next, we will be hearing the reading of the presidential proclamation. It will be read by Craig Rebner, Assistant Attorney General for the FSM National Government.
Kasalele Michael. On behalf of our President, David Penwello, and our Attorney General, Joseph Gallen, I've been asked to attend the proceedings today. They are both in Chu, attending the Micronesian Island Forum. But they do extend their best to everyone here today, including Pompey's traditional leaders, our heads of government, both national and state, and to the debate teams, the judges, and all of the students, and everyone else working hard today to make this happen. This is Presidential Proclamation for July 12th, FSM Law Day. Whereas on July 12, 1965, the Congress of Micronesia was convened as the first indigenous lawmaking body for its people, the people of the Micronesian region. Whereas on July 12, 1975, the first Micronesian Constitutional Convention was convened. Whereas on July 12, 1978, the citizens of the Federated States of Micronesia approved the FSM Constitution, thereby giving birth to our new nation. Whereas on July 12, 1981, the Supreme Court of the Federated States of Micronesia was inaugurated as the highest court of our nation. Whereas in observance of the significant legal and national events that have occurred in the history of this nation on the 12th day of July, the Supreme Court of the Federated States of Micronesia commemorates this special day as one in which high school students throughout the nation are called upon to engage in public debate over national issues of legal, political, and economic significance. Whereas the Supreme Court of the Federated States of Micronesia will host this year's winners of the debates from each state to compete at the National Law Day debate on July 12, 2019 in the state of Pompey. Now therefore I, David Penwello, President of the Federated States of Micronesia, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the FSM, do hereby proclaim July 12, 2019 as Law Day in the Federated States of Micronesia, and urge all citizens and residents, governments, private agencies, and organizations throughout the nation to commemorate this day in ways that promote and advocate respect for justice, the rule of law, and good governance. Signed 25th of June, 2019. David M. Miller, President of the FSM. And I wish the teams good luck today.
Thank you very much, Greg, for the reading of the proclamation. At this time, it gives me great honor and privilege to introduce to you the main actors of today's event, our teams. All of these teams have debated at the state level, and those who are with us today are champions. They were selected to represent each of their respective state. So, starting with the state of Yap, representing the state of Yap for the 2019 FSM National Law Day, debaters are, what should I call you? Please rise up. Nicholas Tun, Alexander Capito, and their alternate is Daniel Tungon. And their coach is Joshua Terence Toon. They are from Yap Catholic High School. Let's congratulate them. Thank you very much, Team Yap. Representing the state of Chuk, the debaters are Daniel Masao Nakayama, Hope Mori, and the alternate is Roxanne Arunga. And they are being coached by Raisa Chui. They are from Chuk High School. Let's congratulate them. Thank you. Representing the state of Koshai, from Koshai High School, the debaters are Ann C. Timothy, Stony Dolena, and their alternate is Jamie Lucy Paddock. They are being coached by Ms. Lena Rowan George. Let's congratulate them. Thank you very much, debaters. At this time, we will be hearing a keynote address, but oh, I'm very sorry. I'm really sorry. Apologies to the whole state. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating the state of Bombay, or your state, the debaters are Felicitas Sam. Please stand up. I'm sorry, Felicitas. Jaylene Joel. Please stand up, Jaylene. I'm sorry. Alternate Mermelane Jonah. Apologies again. And the coach, Mr. O. Jones Penias. O. Jones, I'm sorry, coach. They are representing Thank you very much. Now we will move on to hear our keynote address. But before we do that, I'd like to invite Mr. Atarino Aliaser to give a short introduction of our keynote speaker this year.
Our keynote speaker, Ennett Jr. Ennett, was born and raised in the great state of Chuuk. He graduated from Berea Christian High School in 2001 and went on to attend Pacific Island Bible College, which is now called Pacific Island University, where he graduated with his diploma in biblical studies in 2004. He briefly lived in Hawaii from 2005 to 2006, where he worked and did part-time studies. He later moved back to Chuuk and started teaching at Berea Christian High School. After he got married, he and his wife moved to the Marshall Islands and he taught at the Rita Christian School. They lived there from 2008 to 2010. Not satisfied, and then wanted to go back to school. So he moved to Portland, Oregon, and in 2011, he started attending the Multnomah University. He graduated with his bachelor's degree in 2013, double majoring in biblical studies and teaching English to speakers of other languages. He then went on to law school and attended the Mississippi College School of Law. He graduated in 2017 with his Doctor of Jurisprudence. After law school, he first started working in Portland, Oregon at SOAR Immigration Legal Services, and later on accepted a position at Heart of the Valley Law, a law firm in Corfield, Oregon. And then, has always maintained a close connection with the Micronesian communities. While in school, he worked for the Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization in Oregon, where he was a Pacific Islander community leader and a youth advocate for the Pacific Island communities. In Hawaii and in Oregon, he was very much involved in youth and church organization, and he also served as a volunteer advocate and interpreter for the Chuukese community through the Pacific Gateway Office. Through partnership with the FSM Consulate Office in Portland, and that conducted several Know Your Right workshops throughout the state of Oregon, targeting the COFA citizens. But Ennett was once again not satisfied. There is this song that goes like, "You can take the boy from the island, but not the island from the boy." This was very true for him. He has always felt the urge to come back to the islands, to give back to his people. So in 2018, he applied for and was offered the staff attorney position at the FSM Supreme Court here in Bombay. And that has been with the court since October 2018. At the court, he has already done several outreach programs focusing on legal rights and protection under the FSM Constitution. He, along with Director of the Court Administration, conducted several workshops and presentations on access to justice and enabling rights in all the 4 states targeting both government and non-governmental organizations. It is my pleasure to welcome our one and only keynote speaker, Ennett Jr. Ennett.
I would like to join the ones who went before me in recognizing the presence of our high government officials, Associate Justice Honorable Elaine Worswick, Carl Worswick, um, Chief Justice of the FSM Court, Dennis K. Yamase, and all the other judges and justices in state and local levels, government leaders, traditional leaders, church and community leaders, honored guests, parents, families, friends, and most especially the debaters and your coaches. Ladies and gentlemen, Casaderia, Mogadin, Lenbo, Tiro, and Raranim, greetings to you all. While it is indeed a great honor and privilege to be here to give a keynote address for this year's annual long day, it is also a very daunting task. The shoes that I'm trying to fill are just too big for me. I feel underqualified, or as my friends at the court say, not certified to speak on such an important topic at an event like this. And of all the topics, they chose this. And of all the people in here, they chose me. There are many more qualified and capable people in our midst today who can do a better job. You know, in Chuk, many of the young people like rice. They don't like abut or fermented breadfruit. So if you came to get rice, I am sorry. You are getting fermented breadfruit. If you walk away disappointed, just blame the MC. Anyways, please bear with me as I share a few thoughts that may or may not make sense. I promise I'll keep this short. I may jump all over the place, but hang in there. You'll be just fine. Now, I have never participated in debates, at least not formal debates, like what we will be witnessing today. But what is the purpose of debate? Why is debate so important? I used to think debates were just arguments. Now, when I say arguments, I mean the yelling and yapping, trying to see who's going to win. Usually it's the loudest and more aggressive one that wins. But that's not what this debate is going to be. At least, I hope it's not. According to the school of Buddhism, debate is not about defeating someone with clever logic. Instead, debates are used to help you develop certainty in your understanding. Debate allows us to develop decisive awareness. Debates bring us closer to the truth. It promotes the idea of freedom of inquiry and true enlightenment. The topic for this revolves around women in Micronesia. But why is this important to us? Why should we care about this topic? My own opinion. Here's why I think it's important. Because it strikes a deeply held conviction for Micronesians. And that is that women are foundational to our survival. Let me share some examples. Just a few weeks ago, I read a book about the Suez Rebellion. How many of you are familiar with that? Okay, to make it brief, some islanders witnessed the beating of one of their people, and they got mad, and some Suez warriors, led by Somatao, went to a mission that was in Suez and killed nearly all the Germans who were there. During that massacre, 2 were spared when some Ponapean woman threw themselves between the attackers and the two men. You see, even the great Somana, who knew no fear, respected these women in the midst of chaos and flaming anger. I remember when a fight would break out in my village, women were the peacemakers. When a family wronged another, women had the role of initiating conciliation. A woman's presence is that powerful. Women are skilled and powerful diplomats and peacemakers. Women hold down the fortress and maintain peace when there is unrest or disagreements within the communities. And as a matrilineal society, yes, we are, women maintain ownership of lands. It is from women that we find our sense of belonging. My mother's clan is my clan. The lineage of chiefs goes through women. In Chuk, we refer to our female relatives, even cousins, as Ide, translated, my mother. That is how important and valuable women are in Micronesia. Many tend to shy away from this topic for whatever reason. But as Micronesians, we must engage actively and persistently in this particular debate. For in many ways, this topic will test the mettle of our cultural conscience and our courage to exercise our voice as participants on the world stage of ideas. It will test our resiliency and our ability to cope with the ever-changing world around us. I know when it comes to family violence and gender inequality, many are quick to blame our customs and our traditions. What they are essentially saying is that our culture is at fault. I beg to differ. It is not our culture. That has never been, and it will never be the Micronesian way. Our culture embraces and empowers women. The inequality that we see today is the result of our generation's disregard or even ignorance of our values, which are rooted in respect and humility. Yes, our culture assigns different roles for men and women that complement one another, and the roles do change and adapt to better fit a particular circumstance, but roles do not determine value. The problem is not our culture. Our culture is what makes us unique as a people, and it defines who we are as Micronesians. The problem is that we have devalued certain roles and elevated others. Our perceptions about women and their roles changed, but that is the consequence of being mere spectators and not participants in this topic. So, as our forefathers navigated the seas of old, so must we today navigate the seas of change, never forgetting the Mwiriwiri, the rear side of the canoe, and not losing sight of our Mwem, the front. In many ways, we live in an age of urgency, and we cannot afford to sit on the sidelines and be swayed by ideas that were never meant to grow in the valleys of Parigi, or the riverbanks of Mali, or the sand strips of Ulithio, or the mountains of Toreso. We must chart our own path and discover new territories as pioneers of our own future. There's a statement by the Chief Justice of the Yap State Court. That first statement, I really like it. It says, it's in the handbook or the booklet that's handed out. Sometimes, if not often enough, we copy things from other lands without an initial determination if what we're copying makes sense to us or if we truly need to copy. Today's debate will bring us closer to the truth, and the truth is a common goal and understanding which will be homegrown and made in Micronesia. Together we will discover what makes sense and what matters more to us as Micronesians. But always remember this truth. Women will remain foundational to us as a people. I'm happy that there's not only the debaters, but many students here. So I want to close by leaving you with some words of encouragement. Never stop challenging yourselves and expanding your horizon. Nothing is unattainable. Nothing is impossible. With hard work, due diligence, commitment, determination, and perseverance, you can do great things for yourselves, for your families, for your communities, and for the FSM. You are our future and our children's future. I commend you and applaud you for your accomplishments, but don't let this debate be just another event. Take it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to challenge yourselves to do great things. Yes, the journey will not be easy. There will be times where you may fall, or you may want to quit. But falling down is part of the learning process. Get up, learn from it, and move on. It does not matter whether you fall or not. What matters is how you respond and what you make of it. Remember, we are here. The court is here. Our communities are here. And the FSM is here to cheer you on, to support you, and to help you set sail on the right voyage. Again, never forgetting your goodwill and not losing sight of your win. In other words, be proud Micronesians. Wherever you go, be proud to be a Micronesian. In my time in Portland, I was always the quiet one. I never wanted to say anything in class because I feared that, hey, I'm here, they're here. But as I go along, I did some research and I realized our Micronesian communities out there tend to deny their identity because they want to mesh in, they want to be part of the larger group. It should not be like that. We are Micronesians and we should be proud of it. Good luck to you all. Kalangan, Kamagat, Kulo, Iriso Jabu, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And let the keynote address. We are coming close to the conclusion of our opening ceremony. At this time, I would like to invite Pastor Rickson Keeling from the Ambassador Baptist Church to lead us in the benediction. Pastor.
Please join me as we pray together. Thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you for your goodness, your love, your mercy. Thank you for all you've done for us. And we think about those students who will be discussing matters and debates that they will do today, that you would help them, give them clarity of thoughts and minds. Help them to do their best. And may you continue to lead this nation, that we may follow your direction based on your word, the laws of God's word. We give you praise for all that you'll do, and we pray and ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, leaders, students, parents, our opening ceremony for the 2019 National Law Day has been concluded. We will take a few minutes break to allow the committee to set up, and then before we can proceed on to the main events of the day, which are the debates. We are now taking a recess. I would like to invite our honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, students. We have some light refreshments prepared. Please feel free to grab something. We are taking the break to allow the committee to prepare for